I'm so excited to have this guy back on the pod. I was recently on his show, so I'm so excited that he is here back on my show to talk about his new book. You know him, you love him. It's The Critical Drinker.
Hello.
Ah, I need a button for sound effects.
Yeah.
Ah,
There we go. That's good enough.
yes, yes. So you have a new book out called Dark Harvest.
I
Tell
do
me about
indeed,
it.
yes. So this is my first like standalone books. Everything I've done up until this point has been part of a big old series, and so it's time to move on to new stuff. And Dark Harvest is like a little bit of action, a bit of horror, a little bit of intrigue and historical mysteries, all kind of rolled into one novel. And yeah, it's the kind of book that I guess I would always find interesting to read. Hopefully, other people do. It seems to be doing all right on Amazon so far. It's getting some decent reviews, so I am pleased with this. And yeah, I guess if you're looking for a movie or a book, sorry, that kind of brings elements of like World War Z and stuff into it, yeah, you might find this quite enjoyable. So there it is, Dark Harvest.
Yeah, you could get it on Amazon. Is that usually where you wanna send people?
Yeah, you can get it off Barnes and Noble and the publisher's website, which is Blackstone Audio. Plus, basically any online retailer should carry it at this point.
Okay, wow. And what number book is this for you?
So this is my 10th novel.
Whoo,
So yeah, I'm
boy.
into double figures.
How do you find time to be an author and also churn out as many, like, YouTube reviews as you do?
Well, it's really a question of how much coffee you can take. Anyway, yeah, I mean, man, it's when you enjoy doing stuff like this, I guess you find the time, and it's become a lot easier for me than it used to. You know, I used to have a job as well as doing YouTube and writing, so that was a really hectic time. So I'm pleased that that's behind me, and yeah, I can split my time between these two things.
Okay. What did your job used to be?
I used to do web design and
Oh,
like
okay.
copy editing and stuff for a pretty big company here in the UK who shall remain nameless.
Good. Yeah, that's how I'm kinda treating my last job. Nameless until I figure out what I'm gonna do with it. But I think
Yeah.
it's beneficial to I mean, there's so few of us who have, like, super rich parents or can just do what you want out the gate or right from school. I think it's actually a good practice to have a real job for a few years, and then it's like you have to want it so bad to use your free time to pursue your passions, write your books, do your reviews, and then when you finally, make enough to leave that job, then it's like, all right, you kinda already have the skill set in place.
Yeah, I think it teaches you a bit of discipline and time management as well. And yeah, like you say, it gives you that hunger to do something else. And once you've done it and proven that you can, take on all these different things and do the grind, yeah, it sets you in good stead for the rest of your life, I suppose. So it's been handy for me. That being said, it would have been nice to find like massive overnight success, like when I was 18 and left high school. But then again, I don't think YouTube even existed then because I'm that old. So I don't know what it would have
Yeah.
been.
I very much miss the and I remember being in college and, like, people were like, "Oh, yeah, YouTube," and I should have been on it, but I just was like, "Oh, I don't think I'm good enough to be on it. I don't know what I would do." Even for
Yeah, it's
years, like, I had a sort of comedy mentor be like, "Oh, you should just start a vlog," and I'm like, "Nobody wants to see that." I don't know.
Yeah, it was back in the early days when I first started out, and it was just a different environment, man. Like there was none of this sort of um, really like well scripted, well produced videos that people produce nowadays. For nowadays it's like almost like companies are making them. They look that good, but back then it was just guys with their digital cameras sitting in front of their computer screen, and just rambling away, and that's what you were contending with. Yeah, it's a different world now for sure.
Okay. So this takes place in Russia in 1959.
Yeah, so it starts there. So that's like your backdrop to it because
Oh,
this
okay.
thing that's described there, the Dyatlov Pass incident, that's like a real historical mystery. No one's ever been able to figure out what happened to those hikers. So it's all very cool and mysterious. And I was always interested in it, and I thought I'd love to work that into a story somehow. So that became the backdrop to it,
Oh.
and then it skips forward to more or less the present day. Starts off in Iraq, and then it switches to various other countries across the Middle East and stuff, and that all ties into this like historical mystery. So Yeah, it's good fun. I like that idea of past and present colliding.
Is it spoiler alert, is it aliens? Is that what happened to them?
It's not aliens, so at
Okay.
least, yeah, it's not that.
So you have to be like kind of a history buff to be writing these kinds of stories.
I mean, you need to do your research to some extent. You don't want it to be blatantly obvious that you don't know about this stuff, and so you do your best. And it's the same when I did my Ryan Drake series, which is like military themed thrillers. If you haven't served in the military yourself, you have to just go by what you can research and what you can find out, and you do your best. And inevitably, you're going to get guys who've actually done their time in the service, and they'll say to you, this detail's not right. That's not quite how you would do it, or whatever. And it's always good to get that feedback from them, but ultimately, you can only do your best with it as an author, I suppose. And yeah, that's just what I aim for.
So would you actually speak to like veterans and guys who, well, yeah, guys who have served to check in with them about the details?
When I was just doing the series initially, like I didn't have my YouTube profile or anything, so I couldn't like access people to the same extent. But I did have friends who did tours out in Afghanistan, so they were able to tell me just things about like you probably wouldn't get from like just reading news articles or whatever, like how the dust gets into everything, the way the place smells, just stuff like that, just little details or little anecdotes about stupid things that happen to them out there, and that you can try and work into your story. And it gives it a little bit more flavor, it makes it a little bit more authentic.
Wow, it seems like a really bad situation for a contact lens wearer because it's just dust
Yeah.
everywhere. And I would not want everyone to see like my super thick glasses. So I'd be like, well, I guess I'm out, guys. I'm
So
knocked
yeah,
out.
yeah, I would have been totally up for a good war if it wasn't for that, but what can I do?
Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Love you, get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.